Alrighty. Hi everybody, welcome back to Megan Sullivan Art. So in this particular video, I will show you two custom order journals. I'm videotaping them primarily for the lady who's ordered these two, to have a look at them to make sure that she is completely happy with them. And should she not be, then they will be up on my Etsy for sale. This one I know already she's interested in me changing the green sari ribbon for either a blue or a purple or a pink colour, I think, which I can do. I just chose the green because it picked up on the green of these brooches or whatever they are on the cover. But I will definitely change it to probably maybe a blue, something like that, but we'll work that one out. So I'll show you the different colour options I've got. So let's go through the beach journal first. So this journal, she ordered specifically for photos. So she loves seahorses and dolphins. So I've tried to incorporate those in here, and I showed her some digital kits, and she chose the one which is by Nevermore Creation 17, which is called Sand and Seas, because it has those nice, really nice oceany blue colours and sand and seashells and things like that. And then I found this, I had this mermaid fabric already, or I call it mermaid, but it's more like scales, I guess. And I just love that. And I thought, no, I really want to use that because it picks up the colours throughout the journal that you'll see. So I had this brooch as well that I got secondhand, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a bit too blingy, but I love brooches on journals as closures. So this is actually holding this, I don't know what you call that fabric. It's not chiffon, taffeta, I don't know what it is. Anyway, so it's holding that tied. And on the side here, this charm, so it's got a big, so this is quite heavy. It's got a chunky seahorse. It's got a fish there, and it's also got a seashell, if you can even see that. And then I've added these two strands. So it's got some little pearly bits, a real seashell, a clam and a starfish, and another shell with some blue beads. And this one, to tie in her love of seahorses, has a seahorse with the two pale blue beads and another shell with the little pearlies. So that's that on the side. That's all done with wax linen onto there. So let's undo the brooch. Take that off. So this can be, you don't have to use the brooch, but it just adds a nice interest, I think. And because it's a photo journal, it's not something that will be opened, you know, probably on a daily basis. So this is quite long because it's quite pale if it's not wrapped around a few times. So the lady has the choice of trimming that down to whatever length she chooses. So I'll just pop that under there. And I've used this blue shimmery gold fabric for the inside. And this is, she specifically wanted wraparound covers. And this has got kids craft foam in between it. So that's what gives it a bit of guts, you know, reinforcing. So this one opens out like this. Oh, there's my notes. The dangle flips up like that. So I've called this one Summer Days. It's a beach themed journal. It's got a single signature with 148 pages. Originally I quoted her on an 80-page journal, but you know, we get a bit carried away. And the cover measures 43 centimetres by 22. It's got some pages from a Creative Fabrica kit, which was a seahorse kit. There's some Graphics Fairy Premium membership items in here. There's book pages, vintage or antique music paper that I've used for collaging, coffee dyed and painting inky papers, and stenciling and punching were the two things that she requested to be in here as well. So this is it's a print of a mandala that I had created, and it's got a bit of a bling in the middle. That's a pocket. So in here, this is Nevermore Creations piece, backed onto another piece of her digital kit. This is the, I think this is the Graphics Fairy one, I believe, and that's backed onto blue cardstock. Everything's sewn around. This is a watercolour painting, so a print of a watercolour painting from a local Alice Springs artist. So I've included that with the envelope, again with the beach scene. So they slip in there. So this is the digital kit from Nevermore Creations. So there, that forms the main pages in this kit. So we have got some punching through here. These are my painty backgrounds that I've done. She likes dolphins as well, so there's an image of a dolphin. Nevermore Creations again with another corner punch. More inky painty papers. Kids book page, and on the side we've got a sea, what are they called? Starfish on the side there, and that's tied onto the paper clip. We have another card which says, "We have this hope of an anchor for the soul." So that's the card blank inside, and that's the envelope clipped on there. Some scrapbook paper, more painty pages. This is again Nevermore Creations with a punch in the corner there. Scrapbook paper with another border punch. This is the Graphics Fairy premium membership paper with a punch there. So this music paper, which I've stenciled on top of, was my great-grandmother's, and it might be late 1800s or very early 1900s, I'm not sure. So I've used that for a bit of collage on these papers. Bit of a collage there. Coffee dyed paper with the painting. Nevermore Creations, kids book page. Scrapbook or cardstock with a punch. So I just chose oceany things. This was a postcard, and I have backed that with the Nevermore Creations, one of the backing papers. And I just love the thongs, so I thought that was cool. So this is one of the Creative Fabrica seahorse pages, and it's got friends written there. Nevermore Creations 17, kids book page. Nevermore Creations, scrapbook paper. Just a bit of collage there. So anything that isn't Nevermore Creations I'll pick up on. Kids book page. And we have a large pocket here. This I'm pretty sure is a Graphics Fairy again, that's backed onto blue cardstock. So this is Nevermore Creations. And this one I think is Nevermore Creations. But I'll put a link to all the different kits down below so you can go and suss them all out. Obviously I can't for the premium membership for Graphics Fairy, but I will link to their website. So this is an envelope from Nevermore Creations, which is lined, and it's got little cutouts and little bits and bobs, and there are some seahorses in here. I didn't want to go and decorate too much because I know she wants to use it primarily for photos. So there's 3 seahorses in here. So the new owner can decide where she wants to put those. Just clips on there, and I have again sewn around all of that. Eek, get on there. Never works when you're on camera. There, done. Okay. This is an Artie Mays cutout that goes over the page. That's just plain with a bit of stenciling. Scrapbook paper there. Book page image, and I think that's Nevermore Creations. So they've both been backed and sewn, so we've tied in the seahorses there. Another one of the digital kits, which is white with some stenciling on the inside. Artie Mays seahorse kit, so pretty. So this is really old music paper again, so I've had to reinforce it with washi, and I chose it because it's got the mermaid. It talks about a mermaid and things. So that's Artie Mays, so that's really old music paper. Seahorse again, so pretty. Another envelope, that's from one of the Graphics Fairy kit, I think. On this side we have a lighthouse, which is backed with scrapbook paper. An offcut of scrapbook paper. This is Nevermore Creations, and that one has a little fish on it, that one. Oh, and I missed the dolphin. We have a dolphin one here, so that was on the Artie Mays thing, so there's a little dolphin there. This is an Nevermore Creations fish with some scrapbook paper, and I think this is the Graphics Fairy one, and it's backed onto like a blue shimmery paper or cardstock. Just some cutouts from the Nevermore Creations there. More of that vintage music paper. This starfish is Nevermore Creations. The pocket is the Graphics Fairy. This is Nevermore Creations, and that is the Creative Fabrica. I think that's a Seahorse kit one, I believe. So that's the blue shimmery paper. Another page from the Seahorse kit. And look, this is the second time I've used the Nevermore Creations kit for this, and I just love it. It's really, really nice. And I will continue to use that one. I'm not sure where this dolphin came from, but that's backed onto cardstock. So there's a lot of metallic inks that I use to ink up those papers. Little tuck there, this is Nevermore Creations. Scrapbook paper and one of Nevermore's starfish. Part of a shark. This is just a bit of a collage with the punch there. Whale shark, there you go. And the back. So just my stickers that I normally use. So it has turned out a lot bigger, gain-all, than we planned, but that's what happens. So you still get it for whatever the agreed price was, so that's no problems. So if you really love it, let me know, and we can organise to get that one off to you. So we'll do that one back up. And as I said, you can shorten this so you don't have to wrap it around, but I love the blue that it creates once you've done that. And I just tuck that under. So that's it there without the brooch, or you can repin the brooch back on. So, okay, so on to your next one. So this one was requested for a writing journal. So she wanted it to be oldie world, vintage antique looking. So it is a little bit of an unusual cover, but I got this fabric and I loved it because it shows like buckles and brooches and things like that, which to me is very vintage kind of inspired. Yeah, and I had this tassel. This is how I got it already, and I thought, well, that's beautiful because it picks up on the blues and those. Yeah, it looks really quite nice, and that's been attached there. I had this cameo as well, this cameo brooch, which is new, and then I found these faux keys as well. So, and yeah, as I said, this is tapestry upholstery fabric that I just got today. So there's a portion of that here, and that is also lining this journal, which again is a wraparound per the client's request. And as I said, I just did the green to pick up on the front cover, but I think, yeah, like a pinky colour or a blue would actually really go quite well as she suggested. So we'll swap that over. So this just wraps underneath twice, and then again undoes and flips open. So there's the liner, which is the upholstery fabric, which is gorgeous. It is zigzagged, so there will be a little bit of fraying, but you can just pull those and trim those off and it won't fray any further. Yeah, so I had chosen some different, she wanted scrapbook papers and dyed papers, and obviously lots of writing space. So I have actually packed a lot into this journal, but I haven't glued anything down. It's all paper clipped in. So, and they're all journal cards or spaces to write. So they can be removed and, you know, whatever. So she wanted stenciling and stamping and punching of the pages, which I've done. And yeah, so let me run you through. I haven't done a page count, but it is a little bit over 80, which is what was requested for this one. So this is a Kaiser Craft scrapbook paper, and I've been hoarding it because we never want to cut into these beautiful papers. So this is a frame, which I thought would be nice to stick down and write in. And this is a piece of offcut of the paper, which again, you could stick a piece of paper over the back of this and write on that. And there's the frame. So we've got some stenciling, a bit of a punch out there. I've just used the same punch throughout the whole book. So just done it where I could. There was an issue here. I have covered that with a special lace looking tape. We've got a stamp here, scrapbook paper, and this is a little over the page piece which has beautiful flowers. So that's just paper clipped on. There were some cut apart cards, so I've included those with a few sayings. We've got stenciling, so this is like a rose sort of doily kind of look. We've got a little flower watering can with some flowers in it, more punching. Another cut apart card, scrapbook paper. And what I've done with these, because these backgrounds were quite dark or very busy, this actual paper is quite textured, and this came from my grandmother's wedding photos. You know, when they used to get them in the old days, they'd be mounted on a thicker card with the paper folded over the top, and I've used that folded over paper because I've since sent the other part of the photo to relatives. So I kept one sheet and I've cut that up to create a writing space for you on there. Stamping. This was sent to me as a random act of kindness in a parcel. So we've got a bit of lace and a button and coffee dyed paper. Another offcut of scrapbook paper. And we've got more stenciling. This is called Wild Honey, that ink. This is Tattered Rose, and it's the same stencil. Just a bit of a sticker down the bottom there. A heart floral stencil. Another frame, which you can glue down as you wish. Some more scrapbook paper. Again, another piece of that photo covering. This is a card. It's plain inside, but it is flocked, so it's got that velvet kind of feel to it. Some punching down there. More scrapbook paper. Stamping, sticker, another stencil, and that came through the other side, so I've stuck a frame there, so that's been glued down. Scrapbooking paper. That's got this ledger kind of background to it. These cards I got secondhand, really vintage, gorgeous looking images, and they're just plain inside and they come with a plain envelope. Thought good writing spaces you can seal up and tuck away. Bit of stenciling with, I think it's called Old Paper from Tim Holtz. Another image, and I've just backed that onto, magazine image, backed onto coffee dyed paper. Good spots for writing. Again, more of that. This is another, so what I've done, this was a piece of like a note card, and I've just cut 2 images out and stuck those on there and done some stenciling on the inside. So I just realised that paper clip's left a bit of a mark on there. Over here I've done the same thing again, so there's stenciling on the back. Get that off. That's a piece that I've stuck on the front, and a bit of stenciling on the back. Another journal card there. Scrapbooking paper. This one has this gorgeous altered paper clip that I bought from a Etsy seller called Whimsy Rebel Journals, and she's done all this layering on it with bling and all sorts, and so I've used that to hold on this beautiful card, again, which is blank inside. The patience of some people is incredible to make something like that paperclip. Honestly, it blows my mind. I could never come up with something as gorgeous as that. Anyway, so that's another piece of scrapbooking paper, so it's got the ledger background. Another offcut of scrapbooking paper with the green background, stamping there. Another journaling space. So that goes back to 1946, that paper, so that's old. This is a postcard that I had in my stash of bits and pieces, so I thought that would be really nice to add in. It is quite glossy, but it's quite a nice antique looking image, so you can easily write on that. Another journal card there, that's got the ledger backing, so more writing space. Another stamp. So this is the reverse. So this one has the vintage advertising. Another image backed onto coffee dyed paper. More of that. What's going on there? That's better. It's got some definitions there. Dreamy, happy, together, family and cherish. More of the offcut, sorry, with the gold paper there. Have I got two stuck together? Oh no. Yes. And the end. So you could further stick in some pockets if you wanted to on this journal. I haven't done that, but if you wish for me to do that, I can put some, I could do some lace pockets or something. Let me know what you'd like me to do if you want me to add anything to the insides. Yeah, and if there's anything that you want changed or anything like that. But otherwise, I will send you, I will send the potential owner of this journal some options regarding changing the colour of the tie closure and see what she chooses. But I think, yeah, a blue or a pink would actually look quite nice. Sorry, I'm going out of frame here. So there we go. So unusual, but I really actually quite like it. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, so there we go. So that's it for the moment. Coming up in the next couple of days, hopefully I've got an Easter journal that I need to finish the cover for. And then further down the track, I've got a really super chunky, gorgeous chicken farm cooking kind of journal, which is for my sister-in-law. And then loads of other projects that will be coming up. So keep your eyes peeled and subscribe and like my channel. That would be awesome. And any feedback is always welcome. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.